All right.
Hello, Good Shepherd. This is Luke and Taylor Ronglian bringing you your daily devotional. And today we wanted to talk about a couple different topics, but specifically I wanted to talk about a time of being in the wilderness. And I know for a lot of people, a time of isolation can feel like you're completely alone out in the wilderness, just barren socially. And I think that it's something people can relate to in a biblical aspect, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. A lot of people can feel, hopeless in this time, and I think we have great opportunities to have connection and be productive in this time. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but really we can choose to use this time to become closer to God, like people would use the wilderness, like Jesus would go out into the wilderness and use that time to become closer to his Father. He would pray, he would meditate, he would just talk to him and use that time of being alone in a productive way. So I wanted to read a verse from Isaiah, and that's going to be Isaiah 40, verse 3 through 5. A voice of one calling, in the wilderness, prepare a way for the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be raised up, every mountain and hill made low. The rough ground shall become level, the rugged places a plain, and the glory of the Lord will be revealed, for all the people will see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken. And when I get a picture in my head of a wilderness, we actually have a photograph from Jerusalem that we got from someone in the Old City, and this is from the early 1900s, and you can see in here what the wilderness is like for this shepherd. He's completely alone. It's rugged. There's no water, no vegetation. It's fairly hopeless, but he knows his way around it. He knows where the water is, where you can get nourishment. And you can kind of see the image of that wilderness, what it would be like in real life. So looking back at biblically, that wilderness and that place of isolation had a specific reason for being out there. So while we're in this place of maybe we haven't chosen to be in the wilderness, in this place of isolation, we can still use that as a positive, and we can take control over that situation. And for me, I'm a fairly unstructured person normally, but in a time like this, structuring my time and really planning out when I'm going to study the Word and pray, and picking even a program that walks me through certain devotionals, or devotionals like we're doing on the videos right now, those are very productive for me, but it helps me to schedule them, even though I normally wouldn't. And I've been able to bring my relationship with God closer, and it's really helped me, but only because I was able to, overcome those feelings and use this as a positive time, like how Jesus would use the wilderness, like in that positive way. Take a negative and turn it into a positive.
Yeah, and just kind of dovetailing off of that, just the power of spending time with the Lord. As I look at that picture and I just think of Jesus and how much time he took to be with God, to seek wisdom, counsel, guidance, comfort. He was in the same place as we are, and what came out of that time in the wilderness. And I think about the times that we spend with God and we seek him. Sometimes I find myself praying a lot for myself or for other people. But Jonathan Hamrick was talking about really taking time to really talk to God, but ask and seek. And there's power in that. And I find that Jesus, a lot of the time, asked questions. And I just really want to encourage you guys to really, during this time, seek God. But when you do hear God and he's asking you to do something, to be bold and to trust that God will give you the strength that you need, the encouragement you need, and he will supply all that you need to carry out whatever he's called you to. And that's something that I have really discovered during this time. I was busy before the coronavirus, and I'm still busy now, but in different ways. And it caused me to really stop all the unnecessary things and to focus on really what God is calling us to do, what God is calling me to do. And just like Jonathan was saying last week at church, just to really align yourself with God's mission and vision for your life, because that's why we're here. And I have just found a lot more peace, even through maybe being uncomfortable, breaking through, being bold, doing things that God's calling you to do. And it might be a small thing, it might be just a little thing, but at the end of your obedience could be somebody's deliverance. So I just encourage you with that today. A Bible verse that encouraged me was from 2 Samuel 22, verse 33. And it says, "It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure." So just want to encourage you with that today. And we love you guys.
Yeah, and we'll just wrap up with a prayer really quick. So Lord, just in this difficult time, thank you for just empowering us to make the hills lower, bring the valleys up, just straighten and flatten those paths. And thank you for preparing us for the future, because this will have an end. And even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it, it's something that we will get through. And we want to look back on this and say, God, I used this time to be productive. I used this time to grow closer to you, to grow your kingdom, to reach out to the people around me, to make myself a better person, to really just enrich people and show your love to them. So thank you for empowering us in this hard time. Thank you for just empowering this church in this hard time, and for using it for ultimately the betterment of your kingdom. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thanks, guys.